Hey there, guys and gals. You're listening to the Tempest Universe. This is the Tempest Universe.
I gotta pat myself on the back. That is actually the second time I've started the podcast on time, 9:30 Central, live on Spreaker.com. If you're not in it, you've got to look at the description. You've got to get to Spreaker and add the app if you want to listen to it live. That's the only reason you might want to do that. Otherwise, you can find it wherever you're listening to the Tempest Universe right now. And actually, as of today, as of this morning, actually, the Tempest Universe is now on iHeartRadio. So there you go. Like I predicted, it would take about a month after the first episode to get the ball rolling and spread the word. We're also on Spotify and a whole bunch of other places. The only thing that's pending right now is Amazon. But we will conquer Amazon here shortly, to be honest. I wanted to make an announcement that on Saturday, we have confirmed Jason Williams to join us on the podcast for an interview. Now, you're wondering who's Jason Williams? There was an article I talked about either last week or the week before that about EAAROCIBO. And that was the East Anglian Astrophysical Research Organization that was kind of doing a bit of a tribute to EAAROCIBO. They were, they have a project to take a new spin to the SETI situation out in the UK, and they're looking for techno-signatures. Of course, you know, if you've listened to the podcast for any amount of time, you know that programs like METI and SETI, they burn my soul. But Jason apparently got wind of the fact that I talked about the article, which was actually their press release on the podcast, and he reached out today and said, hey, heard you had the article about EAAROCIBO on your podcast. Would you, if you have any questions, let me know. Well, for damn sure I got questions, and I know you guys do also. As you know, usually I take it nice and easy with our guests on the podcast. But I don't know. Like, I got serious questions. And I'm sure you guys have serious questions, too, about SETI. Or any program that comes out of the SETI mentality. And what does it mean for people who are blue-collar folks who really don't understand all of this searching for life, you know, billions of light years away. So we're going to have him here on Saturday. Because of the time difference with myself and the UK, it's about 6 hours. Jason Williams it's not going to be a live episode, but it will be replayed, once we get through all the editing and production, all that craziness. It should be available to listen to Saturday night. Of course, when I play it, I'll do my best to still be on the podcast live with whoever joins in. And so just so I can get some reactions. In the meantime, if you have any questions regarding SETI, EAAROCIBO, or EARO, send them to me. You have until Friday at midnight to send questions that you might want answers to. And, if time permits, right, we'll get the questions in there. Because I have a lot of damn questions and I'm the host. So I'm going to ask my questions. But definitely, if you have questions, send them in. And we'll talk to Jason about my questions and yours. Because blue-collar folks want to know, what's the big hubbub, bub? Why is it that we spend so much money, dollars or pounds, on such projects that have to do with SETI at all? So get your questions ready, because I will have mine, and we'll see. So far, just from messaging back and forth, he seems like he's really open to the conversation, and I told him right up front, this is going to be a good educational piece for those of us who really don't get the SETI situation. But look forward to that interview. And hopefully there are no technical issues. Yeah, that's usually what happens, right? Whenever I have a guest on here, some shit goes down. So, keep your fingers crossed. The other announcement I have is I have ordered 3 of the books from Avi Loeb. That's right. 3 of them. Extraterrestrial, The First Sign of Intelligent Life Beyond Earth. They're on back order. As you can imagine, every Tom, Dick, and Harry that believes in UFOs and aliens has put their order in. And so myself, I am on back order at the moment. These books, 2 of them will be given out. I got to figure out how to give it out, right? Because we want to be fair. We want everyone to have an opportunity, no matter where you're at, no matter what country you're in. We want you to have an opportunity to win these books. So I'm going to spend this weekend, after having my chat with Jason Williams, spend the weekend trying to figure out how to get everyone involved and given an opportunity to win one of these books. Now, I did order 3. One of them is for me. I'm going to read it. But then once I'm done reading, I don't like keeping shit forever. So I'm going to take that book and I'm going to put a bunch of, UFO Buster Radio and Tempest Universe stuff in it. And then I'll send that out to someone as well. So you have one book with all kind of trinkets in it. And then there's going to be 2 books, just as is, going out to someone that wins it in some fucking way. I don't know. So be prepared for that. You got to work for it. It's not just free. Come on. Anyway, we've got 4 stories today. One of them is just, oh man, what a story. It is, it's funny. It is confusing. It is weird. And that qualifies for a weird story for today. But we'll get into that at the very last, because I just don't know. It seems like a great way to end the podcast, but at the same time, it's painful. I mean, not for me at least. I just want to say that. So we're going to get into last message to Joe on YouTube. Joe is one of those folks that doesn't like the music on the podcast. And I mean, I play the music because it helps me. And also, it's not that bad. It's okay music. So what I say to everyone that sends me a message complaining about the music is you have the ability on your podcast app to jump forward a few minutes. Go ahead and do that. Because if you're listening to the app about the message, about the discussion, about the current stories, in ufology, space, and so on, and of course now weird news, then you should be okay with skipping the music if that's what it is. For fuck's sake, when I listen to other podcasts and they do those 5-minute long fucking infomercials, I'm not going to even name the podcast, but you know who it is. You know what they do. They sit there and the first 10 minutes is a damn infomercial. I skip all of that. Just skip it. Because I skip it because I know that the podcast is going to be great. Because I tune to it because they have a topic that I want to listen to. And I'm okay with reaching down and skipping. That's just the way it is. Okay, unfortunately I can't play music that everyone enjoys because, I try to appease the masses as much as I can, but it doesn't always work. You guys know that. So we're going to get started. And Joe, this is where you hit skip because I'm about to play a track for you.
Messing around, calling all you freaks and nerds. You're just missing what you want. My brother's going down the drain. My sister's living the dream. But everybody's singing along. It's okay, we'll all soon be gone. okay, we'll all soon be gone. Hey, what's the matter with the bright red lights? Hey, in the moment when the world went blind, but everything's alright. We don't give a damn this time.
By the way, breaking news, I actually had to lock Bugs out of the room. His farts have been so bad. My throat has been hurting for the last hour. That's how bad it is. I don't know what the hell he does. I don't know how this turns on and off. Because he eats the same damn food all the time. So how is it that he can go a couple days without these horrendous farts? Just mild farts. It's like, like a hint of doggy booty. But then all of a sudden, there are days where you can tell where he's been because the shit just lingers. The fart just never goes away. This is what I'll deal with on a daily basis. So he got locked out today.
We're on express elevator to hell. Going down.
OMG. There are 3 men, including an Ohio entrepreneur, that's paying to fly to the space station. Yeah. Is it cheap? Hell no, it is not cheap. Out of Cape Canaveral, they reported that the first private space station crew, and actually that's what they call them, actually they just call them the space station crew or whatever. I don't know. It's something like that. They were introduced on Tuesday. I must have missed the announcement because I was stuck like a bunch of other thousands of idiots looking at SpaceX because they failed to launch again. They all need a blue pill for the super phallus. That's all I'm saying. These guys are each paying $55 million apiece. $55 million. Do you know how much vodka I can buy with that? Which right now I don't have any today, and I'm slumming it with red wine. Do you know I could probably buy vodka until I die for myself and all my neighbors if I wanted to with 55 mil. But they are actually paying $55 million to sit inside a Crew Dragon and on top of all that fuel with a possibility of being blown to pieces just so that they can go up and spend some time at the space station. And I wonder if they're going to be on a ghost hunt, to be honest. Are they going to go look for Scotty's remains on the space shuttle? Who knows? Who knows? It turns out that these folks are flying with Axiom Space. They're the company out of Houston that kind of put the trip together. It's supposed to happen next January 2022. And there is a story, actually a quote from Mike Soffredini, who's a former space station program manager for NASA. It says this is the first private flight to the International Space Station. It's been done before, by the Russians. Like, all of a sudden, we're just going to erase everything that the Russians done because, nobody likes them anymore because of all the things that have been going on. He says that the other 3 guys are just people who want to be able to go to space, and we're providing the opportunity, according to Soffredini. That's what he told the Associated Press. $55 million to get on the SpaceX Dragon capsule, or the Crew Dragon, the first Crew Dragon. They got to change. they give a mission name to all these things. So I wonder what it's going to be. Maybe it's going to be, the, I don't know, Silver Spoon, Space Dragon, the Millionaires Club, Space Dragon, who knows? So it turns out that these guys actually have to go through a private astronaut medical test. They have to pass, and they actually get 15 weeks of training. And there is one of them that is in the 70s. He will be the second oldest person to fly into space besides John Glenn's space shuttle flight in 1998, which at the time he was 77. Our 70-year-old is the rich guy out of Ohio, Larry Connor, and he's a real estate and tech entrepreneur. This is crazy. Besides him, Canadian financier Mark Pathy and Israeli businessman Ethan Stibe. They're all going into space. $55 million a pop. And actually, it turns out that Ethan Stibe was a close friend of Israel's first astronaut, Ilan Ramon, and he actually passed away during the Space Shuttle Columbia accident back in 2003. So something personal here for him, no doubt, and he's up there now, or he will be in January. But a crazy thing, right? So these guys are probably going to spend about 2 days just getting to the space shuttle. About 1 or 2 days they're estimating, and it looks like they're going to be there 7 to 8 days, hanging out at the space station, just doing their thing. Whatever rich guys do once they get into space, who the fuck knows? That is what $55 million gets you today. Now, I can understand a 70-year-old, it's like a bucket list thing. Yeah, he's getting up there. His bucket is getting pretty close. So I understand now. I mean, the other guys, if you have a flourishing business, and all three of them, if you got family, how do you spend $55 million, just to get up to the space station, the old-ass freaking space station, for 8 days? I don't know. I mean, you got money to burn, I guess. Some people just have too much fucking money. But if you happen to be sitting on a nest egg about $55 million, you can probably put your name on the list to get up to the ISS, which is leaking fucking air and has dead remains of a body up there for 8 days. And it's like a little vacation in the middle of nowhere. No doubt that these guys are going to be looking for some answers. They're going to be amazed by what they see. But I wonder if any of them are flat earthers. Because if they are, somebody's got to find out. Are any of these guys flat earthers? Because it will save a lot of problems for everyone. We should probably send out a question. I want to find out. I want to send them an email. I want to send these guys an email and find out if they believe that the earth is flat. Because this could be it. We could finally have a flat earther in space to be able to bring back the news to the world's population of flat earthers, like maybe 15 people, and let them know what the deal is. And it might be bad for the rest of us. I mean, the rest of us might be fucked if they say the earth is flat and there's a turtle that it sits on. It's a sad situation if that's what happens, but still. Really, this is a shout out to all the flat earthers. These guys are spending their money, but they can give you the answers you need. So the flat earthers have a whole freaking damn year in order to reach out to these guys, and try to find out if they will take the mantle of proving that the earth is flat and basically go up there and hold a secret mission to get the real deal behind our planet. This might be the only way to just end the conversation, good, bad, or indifferent. I'm sure these guys would love to be part of a controversy to bring more money to their companies. That's the story. Check it out in the description. There's more to it. Come on. If you have $55 million, I'm sure you would pay to get on the Crew Dragon with a possibility of blowing up. Anyway, or crash landing, for fuck's sake. We didn't even talk about that. It's not even mentioned in this article that they still have to come back down. And you will probably take this chance, $55 million to go up as part of your bucket list. Why not? There's plenty of billionaires in the world. They should all be doing it. For Pete's sake.
All I ever wanted was you, but you left me alone inside these empty, broken walls. And I can't see it clearly, but it's obvious. I know that you left me alone inside this empty, broken hall. And now you'll be the reason why my soul is tainted. Somebody help me, 'cause I'm feeling trapped and I don't know what to do. There's no one to save me from this hurt I feel deep within my bones. Did you ever think of me and see the things I did? Sold my soul and everything, I was to the lowest bid. Crawled into your poison dome, yet every single time you got into my mind, you got into my mind. But all I ever wanted was you. But you left me alone inside these empty, broken walls. And I can't see it clearly, but it's obvious. I know that you left me alone inside this empty, broken hall. And now you'll be the reason why my soul is tainted. So how can I fix this? 'Cause I need to stop the aching in my head. My heart is breaking. Yeah, I'm tired of being stuck in the past. Did you ever think of me and see the things I did? Sold my soul and everything, I was to the lowest bid. Crawled into your poison dome, yet every single time you got into my mind, you got into my mind. But all I ever wanted was you. But you left me alone inside these empty, broken walls. And I can't see it clearly, but it's obvious. I know that you left me alone inside this empty, broken hall. And now you'll be the reason why my soul is tainted. The reason why my soul is tainted. You're the reason why my soul is tainted. You're the reason why my soul is tainted. You're the reason why my soul is tainted.
I'm gonna be honest with you guys. That book by Avi Loeb, it's 239 pages. 239. For fuck's sake, I don't think I'll be able to get through all 239 pages. I mean, literally, after like 5 pages, I'll probably fall asleep. This story is out of Pakistan. And this is weird because I've always wanted to hear stories out of India, and now we have listeners in India. So please, if you have UFO stories, share them. Let us know. Call the podcast. Right now, I don't have a way for you to call, but I will take care of that tomorrow. But Pakistan is another one. In all those Middle Eastern countries, we really don't hear too much from them when it comes to this topic. And, a lot of them have, several, governmental oversight over their internet and things like that. So it's impossible for them to do it, to report. Pilot spots very shiny UFO over Pakistan and says it could be the space station or an artificial planet. Now, that blows your damn mind. I mean, really, how can you tell the difference between a space station and the artificial planet? And who the fuck has an artificial planet? It must be a Star Wars thing. I don't know. I don't understand. But this pilot, yeah, like he said, he claimed he saw a very shiny object, a UFO. And this is during a domestic flight. So he was up in his area, his neck of the woods of the planet. It wasn't like he was in some other country on an international flight. So my assumption is he knows the country or the air or the land he was flying over pretty damn well. It shouldn't have been a surprise to him. But he sees a shiny object. How strange is that? The name of the pilot is Rahim Yar Khan. I don't know if I said that right. But he was flying an Airbus A320. And he was flying from Lahore. It's turning into a Red Light District podcast. From Lahore to Karachi. And he actually captured this on a video. Shouldn't he have two hands on the wheel? Why is he taking video? He's flying the damn plane. Was this going to be the end for him? Get everybody on it? He says, according to Mr. Rahim Yar Khan, he says the UFO was extremely bright despite the presence of sunlight. Well, bright shiny objects are usually reflecting sunlight or light. The pilot says, according to the source, adding that spotting such a bright object in daytime is extremely rare. I would think so. Now, the funny thing is, I've never seen, I don't know, I guess I can't say I've been the block a few times over at Lahore. But I'm just saying, I've never seen reports of the space station in daylight. I've never really seen any of those. I see reports of the space station at night, especially people who like to watch the skies and they pinpoint satellites, and somehow they can pinpoint the fucking space station easy. And it has an odd shape, right? It doesn't look like everything else, even when it's reflecting light from the other side of the planet or, stuff like that. But I've never seen anyone just come out and report it as a bright object during the day. He says that the UFO was extremely bright despite the presence of sunlight, adding that the situation was rare. Fuck, I just read the same thing over again. What the hell's going on? According to the pilot, the thing he spotted in the sky was not a planet, but could be a space station or artificial planet. But I don't understand. Who the fuck has a near-Earth artificial planet? And why are you a pilot if you think that such a thing exists? Was it Nibiru and he's not telling us? Is it Planet 9? They showed up in the sky for him? For Rahim Yar Khan? I don't know. Apparently the spokesman for PIA, what the fuck PIA is, I couldn't find anywhere in the article who the hell PIA was. But they said that the UFO was spotted on January 23rd by the pilot, and it was seen around 4 p.m. near. Okay, this is what happens when I don't know if this article was translated into English by Google when I was looking at it, but it says that the object was seen at 4 p.m. near Rahim Yar Khan. So apparently it was following him. No one else in the fucking country, it wasn't near them at all, just him. He was the only plane in the air in Pakistan. He said, I just can't. Sometimes I can't. I need to check these things before. But anyway, the spokesperson said that Rahim Yar Khan did the right thing by reporting the UFO back to the control room when he saw it, and then he whipped out his phone, completely let go. Especially, he ran up the aisle to in between some of the people that were flying to get a better look at it. And nobody was at the helm. Nobody was flying the damn plane because he had to catch it on video. Oh, jeez. I mean, you can't make this shit up. You really can't. The spokesman also said it is too early to say what the object was. In fact, we may not be able to tell what the object was at all. However, something was spotted, and it was reported in accordance with required protocol. I just don't know. I don't know. The damn space station has been up there for fucking ever. How can you not know what it looks like? Is there any pilot training? If you're a pilot and you listen to the podcast, which pilots are too smart to do that, if you're a pilot and you listen to the podcast, do they train you? Or do you have pilots who have come across the bright ass, lit as hell International Space Station during a day flight in the middle of the day? Well, this is like an afternoon. It was like 4 p.m. And what do? Do you freak out? Do your pilot friends just run to the back of the plane to try to get a selfie with it? It's weird, but I'm glad. I'm glad that, thanks first of all to the Times of India for reporting this situation out of Pakistan. Because, they're good friends, India and Pakistan. So of course they would report such fascinating news like this. But in the same vein, it's good that I get to see stories from the Middle East, India, Pakistan. I want to see things from, the people in Iran see UFOs like this. That's what I want to know. The people in Iraq. That is the question that I have. I want to know what's going on in the Middle East. There is no doubt for me that the UFO phenomena is almost identical and the same everywhere around the world. But it'd be nice to hear from these guys, because when you hear from, societies, Western culture, where everything's about me and the internet and social everything, we get it. We understand what people are able to talk about, like Demi Lovato, on their social platform, talk about, consciously trying to reach out to UFOs. I get it. But it's in these other countries where it's not so prolific, where Elon Musk needs to go in and, get these folks who are living in huts and give them the damn internet so we can get reports from everywhere. That's all I'm saying. That's all I got to say about that. There's more about this story in the description. Now, unfortunately, I know the story says, according to the Times of India, that the guy was doing a selfie with this object, but I didn't see a video linked in here, so maybe there's like a Pakistani news report that we can look at that actually has the video, or maybe a YouTube search might be able to get you what he saw. But there is a picture. It is bright as hell. It looks like a bright-ass orb. Metallic orb. Does not look like the space station. It does look like the Death Star, so who knows what the hell it is. We'll just have to figure it out as we go along.
Sunny day, right there you took my breath away. Young and pretty, was it just a dream? The next day you called me up, you told me I'm your little buttercup. You came over and you fell into my arms. Well, I know what I feel. Please tell me your love is real. You make me smile when I think of you. If I am down or when I am blue, I can't get enough. You make me happy, I feel so fine. Oh, how I wish that you were mine. I can't get enough. Hopeless lover. I woke up all soaked in sweat, with chills running down my neck. I'm going crazy from just the thought of you. A long blonde hair and your beautiful smile. Your sense of humor makes it all worthwhile. Don't make me wait, it's not a funny game. You know just what I feel. Please tell me your love is real. You make me smile when I think of you. If I am down or when I am blue, I can't get enough. You make me happy, I feel so fine. Oh, how I wish that you were mine. I can't get enough. Hopeless lover. Hopeless lover. A hopeless lover. Hopeless lover. You make me smile when I think of you. If I am down or when I am blue, and I can't get enough. Can't get enough. I can't get enough.
By the way, I neglected to mention that the Asgardians are live on Spreaker right now. Green Man, Pucky, Dre, maybe Davina, depends if she's awake, The Norm, and we're still missing the one and only Dave from Down Under. He's not, he hasn't been here, but he has shown up on Discord. But yeah, I don't know. We've got to still put out an APB Down Under for Dave to figure out what the hell is going on. I'm just saying, I'm phoning in for a friend. This next story comes out of Charlotte. It's funny. I was just talking about how Western countries have all this internet, and they should know shit because they spread shit all over the internet, especially UFO stories, right? This story is coming out of Charlotte. String of lights seen in sky near Charlotte sparks UFO debate. What was it? There must be I don't even know how to explain this. It's like a blackout of news regarding SpaceX over Charlotte. That's my assumption. I just want to say up front that the Charlotte Observer, where this article came from, they never led to the conclusion that maybe what these guys saw in Charlotte may have been something that we've all been following for over a fucking year now. Yeah. It's funny too, because I think like 2-3 weeks ago I said, things are good. Things are looking up because people aren't reporting these Starlink satellites as UFOs. I was wrong. I was so wrong. Multiple people apparently have reported an odd string of lights near Charlotte. And in social media, they started blowing it up. They're like, what the hell is this? It's over in Union County, just southeast of Charlotte. People are wondering what the hell. North Carolina's Indian Trail community. They even have a Facebook page if you are wondering about it. Somebody posted, actually, I have a name here. I'll just go with the first name. I don't want you guys searching the Facebooks to try to explain to her what you saw. Alyssa, out of that Indian Trail community, posted, anyone know what these lights were tonight? What's up, Indian Trail? This is the community page on Facebook. No sound at all. They flickered like lanterns, but followed the same exact path up until they disappeared, which was odd. But it doesn't mean that they disappeared and they're not following each other, for the love of Pete. But here's an entire community who knows nothing about the Starship satellites. I'm not the Starship satellites, for fuck's sake. Starship's not getting it up. By the Starlink satellites. This is so weird for me. We have been dealing with this for such a long time. I mean, it's been on news reports. People have been seeing them. Hell, there's apps to track these fuckers when they're flying overhead, so you're not scared. You're not running for your chastity belt to protect your booty. There is no alien agenda here. It's Elon trying to give internet to spear chuckers or people who live off the grid in mountains, the mountain men. That's how they're getting their internet now. Through these UFOs that fly in a straight line and then disappear over the horizon. It is so crazy. But they flicker. There might be clouds in the way, who knows. According to this other, actually, this is still Alyssa. My initial thought was, when I saw the lights, it was helicopters in the distance. Now that would be more scary for me to see a bunch of helicopters flying in formation over my house. Actually, I live in between 2 Air Force bases out here, so I see that shit all the time. I see, even today, the jets were flying by, and it's like, they're loud as fuck. Can we at least break the sound barrier so I can enjoy the technology that's flying over, probably armed to the teeth, too. Anyway, so she said she thought it was helicopters in the distance, but as the lights got closer, There were no sound. That really freaks people out. So they were straight up into the sky and disappeared. No smoke, no debris, no nothing. I couldn't see anything around the lights to suggest that they were or were not lanterns, but the lights flickered like you'd imagine a lantern would look. Well, make up your mind. What the hell was it? According to her, stranger still, a trio of the lights that glowed blue also showed up in her photos. How crazy is that? The lights showed up on her photos. Yeah, I don't know. But anyway, she lives in Monroe, and she has no explanation for it, and she thinks it's maybe a trick of light. No, it's a trick of not being in tune to the news today. This is the problem, man. Everybody is looking for these social media quick hits. They don't even pay attention to the damn news. Because if you did, you'd know. You'd know. Shit's going on over your sky. Scientists from around the world have been complaining that Elon Musk and these satellites, these Starlink satellites, are blocking people from being able to enjoy the stars. Alyssa is one of them. Wait till there's like about 12 to 40,000 of these bitches flying over the sky. You're going to be freaked out, girl. You're going to be like inside of a tent or something out in the middle of the woods, receiving your internet for your Pornhub from the same satellites that made you run off the grid. That's what's going to happen. We've got to get to it. I mean, come on. It's been in the news. Get with the times. This is for real. Technology is advancing in ways you have no idea, unfortunately, Alyssa. But hopefully somebody schooled you by now. She continued to say the blue lights I didn't notice until after I took the picture in the sky. It did not look blue. It looked like a group of bright lights. She said, I thought it was tough. I'm sorry. This story is tough. I thought it was odd, though, that a few people have seen and photographed the same bluish groupings of lights. For fuck's sake. That's all I can say. The folks over in this part of Charlotte need to have a SpaceX representative go down there and talk to them. School them about what's going on. Because this is crazy. And like I said, the weirdest thing is that the Charlotte Observer had nothing to say about it. Like, is the entire town... And it can't be true because there's listeners from Charlotte. For fuck's sake, I know they know that Starlink is a real thing. And you can see it. You can download an app and track it because I've talked about it before. Many folks, especially some of the Asgardians, have also. It's not a UFO. It is basically Pornhub for everyone. And it's flying over your sky. So you should appreciate it. The fact that high-speed internet is coming your way. Even if you live in one of the remote places in the world. No matter how far you live. In the boonies. You will get whatever. Netflix, if you need it. Disney Plus. Whatever it is. Thanks to those UFOs that are flying over you. Amen to that, sister. One more track. One more story. And this is the one you've all been waiting for.
We had it made, yeah. Your cheeks,
this next story. I really am trying really hard to compose myself because I've had the giggles all day today. And actually, I saw this being kind of mentioned in the Discord chat with the Asgardians. And this is a perfect story for Asgardia, to be honest. And Zachariah sent it to me through email. I feel right now like Deuce Bigelow and Space Gigolo when they asked him in that interview what he knew about UFOs, and he had that freaking crazy ass fucked up psycho laugh like that, like he was hiding something, because we know today he fucking was. That's all I'm saying. I've just that Bigelow. I need to do an episode just on him. But this right now is about China. China is now using anal swabs to test for COVID in high-risk groups. I said it. I didn't even break not once. I didn't laugh not once. Because you know what? Here's the reason why I'm not laughing. I'm laughing on the inside. Fuck, I'm trying to hold it in, but this red wine is not helping. It's crazy. It's crazy that and I actually looked this up, since February of 2020, China. I wish I had that clip on of Trump saying China. Since February 2020, I mean, you'd be lucky if folks from China or the government even reported more than 30 cases a month of COVID-19. Like all of a sudden, like, oh, we got these under control. Right there, we ain't reporting shit. Meanwhile, the rest of the world is 4.2 far fucked. Thousands of cases. Fucking daily. And now the new strain of COVID-19. Wuhan, the fuck were you thinking? Well, apparently, they've been lying, right? They're lying their asses off. Because now, either China is the largest red light district in the world, or we've got problems. Yeah. There is a new method for them. It's invasive. You don't want to be... I can't. You don't want to be part of this. I'm telling you. If you live in China and you're planning to go back home, don't. Unless you like it. Unless this is for you. I'm just saying. The new method involves a saline-soaked cotton swab being inserted into your rectal area about 3 to 5 centimeters. I thought this was like a respiratory thing. I didn't know that COVID was all about the anus. I don't understand. Where did they get this from? Did this start somewhere in the red light district and they decided that that's the way that COVID is spread now? Through the anus? I don't understand. It's funny and scary at the same time. Because only they know the truth about COVID-19, the coronavirus. Only they know. So if they're saying we need to swab people's anuses, that kind of scary, right? Like I'm thinking, do we need to be swabbing anuses up here in the U.S.? Does Australia need to be swabbing some anus? I feel like now there should be a lot of anus swabbing all around the world. Or maybe this is a sick joke, like they know. They know everybody knows the truth. They know everybody knows that they started this shit. And so if they're swabbing ass, everyone should be swabbing ass as well. It's crazy. It's a crazy story. This story, when I first heard it, I was like, oh, somebody's fucking around. They're lying about this. This can't be real. There's no reason why people are getting their asses swabbed. And it's not just out on the sphincter area. I mean, they're going in. 3 to 5 centimeters. I mean, I don't know. I guess for guys, older men, that's not a problem, right? Because your doc Your doc goes in through your anus to feel to see if you might have some problems back there. Yeah, that's part of your yearly checkup. He gives you the digital rectal exam, the DRE. This is no DRE, folks. It's not just dudes. It's everyone in China gets the business. According to Bloomberg and the Washington Post, see, I really am trying to just contain myself, but like I said, the wine's not helping. They cited local outlets that China is using anal swabs as means of COVID-19 testing for patients considered to be high risk. The country is also continuing to use throat and nose swabs. You basically have all of your orifices covered. Really, they should just have a machine that takes every hole and tests it all at the same time. But I still don't get why is the anal swab a thing. Really. Why is it that they're going up the rear end? How can you get, if it's a respiratory disease or a situation, right? If it's a coronavirus, I mean, did somebody one day cough in somebody else's ass and then they had COVID-19 and then that just started a trend? Maybe the question should be, why did that COVID-19 patient, why was his face in the other person's ass that gave them COVID-19? I don't get it. It's confusing to me. It really is. Oh my God. Li Tongxing, Deputy Director of Respiratory. See what I mean? I'm not making this shit up. Here's a Deputy Director of Respiratory and Infection Diseases, Department of Beijing U and Hospital, said that in a recent interview with the state television that the testing method was introduced after research showed that traces of COVID-19 can be found longer in the anus. I can't. Research, let me just read that again because I kind of messed that up. COVID-19 can be found longer in the anus than in the respiratory tract. I mean, is it possible that after you catch COVID-19, you shit it? I don't know. I don't get it. According to the deputy director, he says if we add anal swab testing, it can raise our rate of identifying infected patients. But you fuckers haven't been reporting infected patients. So all of a sudden, there is something wrong with China. There really is. I hate to say this, but there is. And it says, but of course, no pun intended, using the word but because that's what it says in the article, considering that collecting anal swabs is not as convenient as throat swabs, at the moment only key groups, such as those in quarantine, receive both. Well, lucky you. Not only do you get a throat swab, you get a nose swab, and just to cap it off with a good time, you get it in the butt too. This is what the world is coming to. This is the craziness that's coming out of China. Holy shit. Some of the people might enjoy that. Some of them not. Some of them won't. There was one guy here, and I almost feel like this is the joke on the part of the People magazine. I feel like they try to pass a quick one on us. But they're just... I'm holding it in. I really am. Apparently they interviewed someone by the name of Wang. Yeah. His name was Wang. Wang says at first he was a little shy about the butt swab. He said that it involved two nurses and it only lasted a few seconds. They went in, 3 to 5 centimeters into his posterior. And he says he was okay about it. He understood that the country was under pressure to prevent the breaks. But Wang came in the first time out of Australia. He was visited Australia, and the Chinese government says, you need to bend over. Because you look like, with a name like Wang, that you might have had some activity in your posterior. So we need to swab your butt. And they did. But then Wang, when he he had the experience a second time. And, at that point, it became a sport for him because Wang was all over it. Like, they didn't even have to ask him. He just dropped drawers. The article doesn't say that, but that's what I'm imagining. That's what Wang was just in it. He was in it to win it, to be honest. It's a crazy story. Now, here's where the sad part comes in. And this is the part that's disturbing, right? This is where they take it too far. And those folks who think that, China sometimes goes overboard, this is it. This is it right here. Apparently, that there were some Chinese citizens that experienced the new anal method. About a week ago, 1,000 school children and teachers in Beijing were given anal, throat, and nose swabs after one asymptomatic virus case was detected on campus. That just goes overboard. And this is why it's hard for me to laugh, because there's a dark side to this. Could you imagine as a parent, you come home and you have someone from the government sitting at your front porch or whatever, or your patio or at your door saying, listen, your kid's not going to come home tonight because we got to swab their butt. That is the part that's not funny about the story, because people are really being violated. It's a respiratory disease. Why is the anus involved? It's just crazy. It's a crazy story. It's funny in a lot of sense, but when you start involving kids and shit like that, fuck China. What is wrong with you? What the hell is going on? And when did they figure out that the anus was the place to go? How many rabbits did they infect with the COVID-19 virus? And then all of a sudden, did some scientists just slip and poke someone in the ass? And then they tested it. It was like, oh, look at all this COVID-19. We should do this all the time. Weird story. There's more about it in the people.com article. I just don't know. It is it's one of those stories where you just don't expect to even come across, but to have all your orifices poked and prodded over COVID-19, it is crazy. It is completely nuts. Hiya. China, you're crazy. This is the end of the episode. I thank you guys for listening. I'll have some information, hopefully, by the end of next week regarding how you can get your hands on the book from Avi Loeb. I mean, Avi, for us in ufology, though we're not like researchers and shit, he's going to be big. I can see it already. He's going to be huge. So this book, it really is going to be a great thing to read. So hopefully by the end of next week, I'll get the details together on what things you will have to do in order to win these books. At least the 2 books. The 3rd book, we'll see what happens, because we might have to put everyone's name inside of a basket and let bugs pick it so that we can get the Superbook edition to you with a bunch of UFO Buster Radio and Tempest Universe trinkets. Don't forget, be back Saturday with that interview, which I feel it's going to be really educational. Jason Williams is going to shock us. I just feel it in my innards, but not in my bungalow, because if I did, China will come after me and swab away. My friends, keep your chastity belt on, because this might become a trend worldwide, and butts are no longer safe. Ciao. Hey, that's the wrong song, for fuck's sake.